The Rapid Results Roadmap is a tool that helps people set big goals for themselves and walk back from the future that they want to create, focusing from the end and working your way backwards, especially in the context of that overall driving purpose, really helps people to be creative and to set aside anything that's not essential. One of my favorite examples is a client that I worked with 3 or 4 years ago now. They had set out a pretty bold purpose to evolve from a risk-managed insurance carrier to really becoming a lifelong partner for health. As part of that, they knew that they would need to be able to free capital for reinvestment. And the way that they knew how to do that quickly was to set a target, hand it out to the organization, and really ask people to go find headcount. One of the people that I worked most closely with during that time was a senior director of a finance team who had been down that road before and knew that it wouldn't actually add up. So she got a small group together and said, hey, is there a different way we can do this that would allow us to meet those savings goals but do it in a way that's true to purpose? And so they looked out into that future and said, what if we found more than we were asked for, more than the $900,000 that reducing 8 people from our organization would generate? And they set themselves a goal of finding more than $1.1 million in a way that was both sustainable and true to purpose. And then they used this rapid results process to back up at every step of the way and really confront what would need to happen just before that. And the first thing they knew that they would need time to really test the numbers and be able to support their claims. They couldn't go into the meeting at the end of the 90 days without rock solid numbers, which meant that right before that, they'd really need to be able to test the approach, have a solid backup plan, probably be working a couple of options in parallel. Right before that, they'd have to actually choose an approach that they believed could generate that larger target, and they need to engage key allies who'd be important to the implementation. Before that, they need time to compile, review, and compare the options so that what they came up with was really compelling and strong, which really meant that 2 weeks from the day that they were having this conversation, they need to be able to clarify and confirm what their success criteria were and really get things in motion. So on day one, they knew what they needed to do was to align the right team around purpose. They went out and found people who could really provoke their thinking and help them see things that they might be missing. And at the end of the day, they were able to not only find that 1.1 million, but they identified 1.7 to $2 million in sustainable savings without cutting a single head from the organization. And they found $8 to $11 million in one-time cost avoidance that no one had asked them to go find. When you start from that ideal future and back your way up from where you want to be at the end, you really allow yourself the time to be creative but targeted at the beginning.